Hi, if you haven't heard, Kyle Rittenhouse trial is over. He was found not guilty on all charges. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because on my last video that was uploaded earlier, somebody brought up that I brought up race. Well, this whole trial has been nothing but based on race. And you're going, well, how can that be? It was a white kid that shot 3 white people. All right, let's go over that. The first thing that happened was the media. The media talked about Kyle Rittenhouse. They talked about his race, a white kid shooting 3 people at a BLM rally. Or should I say, more or less, riot. They talked about his race. They didn't talk about the other people's race that were in this. Those were white people. They allowed people to think that he killed 3 black people, which didn't happen. He didn't shoot 3 black people. He shot 3 white people. That's the first thing. Second, Joe Biden and these Democrat flunkies brought up and said Kyle Rittenhouse was a white supremacist. Without any evidence whatsoever, you can't tell me that wasn't about race. Third, the commenter commented that I shouldn't have brought up race. Well, here's the thing. Affirmative action is racist. 100%. And you're going, you can't say that. I can prove it. When a school has to allow certain people in because of the color of their skin and not because of their test scores or they earned the right to be there, that is racist. You are allowing someone a spot based on skin color. That is strictly against everything we're taught in this country. We're taught skin color doesn't matter. But when our laws are saying skin color does matter, then it's contradicting what we've been taught all our lives, that skin color doesn't matter. When companies are forced to hire certain people because of their skin color and not because of their qualifications, that's racist. Either way you look at it, you can't say that that's not. Now, I did bring up sports teams because a lot of the members on sports teams are black. I have no issue with that. What I have an issue with is, did they end up going to college because of affirmative action? That they didn't earn that position or earn that spot? Because if they did, now they're in the pro leagues, and a lot of them are making millions of dollars because of their skin color. Not because they earned a spot going to college, but because of their skin color. I think affirmative action ought to be gone. I believe if you go to college, you ought to be able to earn your way. I believe if you go for a job interview, they shouldn't be forced to hire you because of your skin color. Everyone in America is equal. I don't care what skin color you are. You're equal. We are all equal. But there are certain races in America that get special treatment compared to everyone else. And that's racist. And I will have a lot of people disagreeing with me on this. And I'm fixing to piss everyone off. Me, I absolutely hate football. I hate sports in general. I don't watch it. I think these sumbitches get paid way too much for what they do. I don't think schools should take money away from education to put into athletics. And I don't think that if this person earned the right to be there, they shouldn't have been able to go to college and then off to the pros. A person should earn their own way, make their own way. It shouldn't be given to them because of the color of their skin. That is racist. Now, I'm going to talk about the Kyle Rittenhouse. I understand a lot of people were scared. And the National Guard will probably have to be called in. I'm not sure. I just checked, and there are not that many people outside the courthouse. So hopefully nothing happens. But I want you to understand something. If you are a looter, a rioter, an arsonist, or just a violent person wanting to start trouble, don't. If you did not watch this case every single day like I did, don't show up, don't start trouble. If you're a female in this country that was worried about, can I carry my gun to protect myself? The answer is yes. I am so happy the women in this jury, they either thought logically or they thought what would happen if someone attacked my son, my daughter, or attacked me. And do I have a right to shoot them to protect myself? If this would have went any other way, the answer would have been no, you wouldn't have had that right, because this would have set precedent for other court cases. Do I believe the prosecutor should be in jail? Absolutely. My thing is, not guilty on all charges, and I'm sure, hopefully you've already heard. But for the person that said I shouldn't have brought race into it, the media brought race into it. Joe Biden and the Democrats brought race into it. And even the prosecutor. Because they were talking about, well, he was at a BLM protest. This wasn't a damn protest. This was a damn riot. Where people were burning shit to the ground, getting rid of other people's livelihood, destroying property, and attacking people. And I brought up George Floyd for a reason. If the cop could go to jail for kneeling on George Floyd, then that proves that the prosecution believes, all these prosecutors believe, that if you put your hands on someone, you can kill them, and it's your fault. So, having the guy attack Kyle Rittenhouse, the first guy, who was the racist, screaming racist things, was not there to support BLM. I don't support BLM. I think they're a terrorist group. Same as Antifa. When you show up in a town or a city and you start to burn it to the ground, you attack people, you are a terrorist group. You're not helping your cause. Do I think black people out there have less rights than me? Absolutely not. In fact, in some cases, they have more rights than me. Because I don't have programs to where I can go to school based on my skin color. I don't have programs out there that force companies to hire me based on my skin color. A person should get a job based on qualifications, not skin color. A person should be able to go to college, not on skin color, but on their scores and their academics. They should never have a single sports scholarship ever. None. My whole problem, I'm not racist. I'm just get tired of being called a white supremacist because of my skin color. And the thing that bothers me the most, I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. I believe in the Constitution. I believe every person here, male, female, child, baby, even newborns, have the same rights. Which will really piss off the abortionists out there, because that child is not you. I think that as long as abortion should be legal or is legal, murder should be legal because that child is different than you. And if they ever made murder legal, I don't think it'd be any different than a weekend in Chicago. So, big deal. The jury did the right thing in this case. And I understand a lot of them were probably scared. And you had news media trying to find out who they were. You had people wanting to take pictures of them. They could most likely hear the bullhorns outside. We're going to burn their city down or whatever. But they did the right thing for everyone. I do understand that the police killing or anyone killing someone else is not a good thing. But just from the George Floyd incident, and I still don't believe that was murder, 25 people, if not more, have died because of that. So what you do affects other people. So we have 25 more dead people because of that one incident. We have other incidents now where this guy kidnapped his ex-girlfriend or ex-wife's kids and had a knife. And I think it was maybe Blake or something like that. I'd have to look that up. So many of these cases has come across in the past 6 months that, it's hard to keep track of them. But the cop shot him. He kidnapped kids, had a knife, and people rioted and burned shit to the ground. People need to stop this. They need to get the facts straight before they do something stupid. But unfortunately, we have too many stupid people in this country. I have one huge issue. Because of my skin, people call me a white supremacist. Yet, the people that are calling me the white supremacist, you may have dark skin, but you vote Democrat. Joe Biden is one of the biggest racists out there. If you don't believe me, look up every bill he's ever pushed or passed. Look at everything he said. And y'all voted for him. Look at the Democrat Party, which most black people are Democrat. The Democrats are the party of slavery, the KKK, and Planned Parenthood to wipe out blacks. But y'all vote Democrat. You have a right to vote for who you want to vote for. And now, because of this jury, you now have a right to protect yourself and your family and even your property, which we've always had that right. I am so glad it didn't come out any other way, because I was so worried about the women out there who carry weapons to protect themselves. Is this country racist? No. We have black doctors, black senators, we had a black president, we have black teachers. Sorry if the noise is picking up, the deep freeze is on. I don't care what your skin color is. Everyone has the same rights and should have the same rights in this country. I do have a huge problem, though, with theft. Stealing from stores. You're driving the prices up for everyone else that shops there. I have a problem with taxation. Joe Biden does not represent me. He has never represented me. I don't believe the stuff he believes in because I'm not a racist. For this jury to come back not guilty on all charges, This damn judge should have dismissed this case a long time ago. The prosecutor needs to be in jail, and their star witness that said Rittenhouse did not fire on me until I pulled the gun and pointed towards his head should be charged with attempted murder. But that's not going to happen. This whole case was about two things: race and politics. Neither one should ever have a place in court. And I have heard so many times on these news channels, well, there are more black people in prison. That's because more black people commit more violent crimes. If you don't want black people to commit crimes, help them get an education. I have no issues with things like tutors. If a black kid in school, or even white kid, any kid, needs help, tutor them. Get them the help they need. Don't just pass them and say, oh, we know you got an F in school, but we're going to pass you and let you graduate. If you can pass some of this bullshit crap we put in place, like social justice bullshit, that has no place in this country. I'm making this for two reasons. One, a response to the person that left the comment. Why did I bring up race? This whole case was about race. It started with race, with George Floyd and the riots. And then you had, I think, Jacob Blake. It all started because of a person's race. Should this kid have been charged in the first place? No. Is this country racist? No. But are people like me getting sick and tired of being called supremacists and white supremacists and slavery was all our fault? You bet, we're tired of it. I had no part in slavery. I've never been Democrat. So there's two things right there that remove me from it. I don't believe in slavery. I believe everyone here in America, especially if you're a citizen, has all the same rights. Now, I also believe that if you come here illegally, you should not have the same rights. Because you're not supposed to be here in the first place. You come here the right way, we welcome you. But if you break our laws and violate our laws, no, we don't want you here. You know, it's really sad. I guess it was about a year and a half ago. I was watching Tucker Carlson, which I don't really watch it anymore. But he had this lawyer on there who was illegal, came here illegally, stole someone else's identity, and then went to law school using a stolen identity and social security number, and now is a lawyer in America. We shouldn't allow things like that. We shouldn't force companies to hire based on race. We shouldn't force schools to take people based on race. If you don't want to be a racist country or scream racism, you don't have racist policies. You know, you can agree or disagree. It's fine. That's what America's about. Debate, not violence. If you disagree with me, hey, that's fine. But things should never turn violent, and if they do, you should have the right to defend yourself. Even if you kill the other person. If they come at you, wanting to do you harm, you should have that right. If they break into your house, you should have the right to shoot them. And it's sad. The places with the most strict gun laws in this country have the worst gun violence. But was this case about race? Absolutely. The media said he was a white supremacist with no evidence or proof. Joe Biden, and he is not my president, I think he's a dirtbag, said that Kyle Rittenhouse was a white supremacist with no proof. The DA immediately jumped to judgment and filed charges without the evidence because it's political. And the media hid the fact that the men that attacked this kid were all white and made people think they were black. So you can't tell me it wasn't about race. Like I said, there should be no difference between any race in this country. None. I don't care what race you are. But you should not get special privileges because the color of your skin. Because I don't get them. You do. If you're black, you get scholarships based on your skin color. Companies are forced to either hire so many of a certain skin color or be fined. That's about as racist as you can get. Forcing people to hire someone based on skin color. I believe everyone has merit. I believe everyone has a right to live. I believe everyone has a right to be themselves. I don't believe you have the right to loot, murder, burn stuff down, or attack someone else. And I'm glad this jury came back with not guilty on all charges. Alright, that's it. I'm fixing to go. And I apologize for uploading a video so soon after my last one. But I wanted to respond to the person that left a comment saying I brought up race. This whole trial on Kyle Rittenhouse was based on race. And if you don't believe me, look at everything your Democrat lawmakers have said. Look at everything the media has said. Look at everything Joe Biden has said. With no evidence. This whole case was strictly about race. And the fact that they kept bringing up it was at a BLM protest was a bunch of bullshit. It was a bunch of black people and white people rioting, looting, and burning shit to the ground and hurting other people. So yeah, it was on race. And I'm glad the jury saw through it and decided that this kid was innocent on all charges. Alright, that's it. I'm fixing to go. Everyone stay safe out there. If you live in Kenosha, remember, these rioters really come out at night. You know, tonight might be a rough night for you, but try to be prepared. And don't let them burn your house down or your businesses. Because that's your livelihood and that's your home. And people have died because of this kind of stuff. I'm just glad the women on the jury saw through this and actually go, I have a feeling they asked themselves, I really do, that what would happen if it was my child or my niece or my nephew that this happened to. So they just protected your rights for self-defense. And yes, this whole trial was on race. Because of what Biden said, because of what the media said. The prosecutor rushed to judgment and filed charges without the facts. So yeah, it was based on race and politics. Alright, that's it. I'm fixing to go. Sorry I uploaded this real quick after my last one, but hopefully you already heard. Not guilty on all charges. Alright, goodbye and see you soon.